And welcome to this new video tutorial of OpenCart Customer Credit System plugin. And in today's video tutorial, I'll be showing you how the admin of the website would be able to add the credit to the customer so that they can make use of the credit added by the admin for purchasing the products within the OpenCart web store itself. And we'll also be showing you the initial configuration settings that are required for this plugin. That's the OpenCart Customer Credit System plugin by Webcool. And before we proceed further to the web store front end and show you how the customers can access their credit information, how they can add the credit, or how they can check the credit and the debit transactions under their own account panel. So before that, let me give you a small gist about the plugin itself. So basically, using this plugin, the web store admin can now assign store credits to the customer groups, and the credit amount can be used as a payment method for purchasing their products within the OpenCart web store. A customer can add money using various store payment methods and can view the complete transaction details as well. Apart from that, the admin can set the add credit limit, select payment methods to be made available to the customers, and can also set a transaction limit for the credit amount there. So now let me take you to the front end, and I'll be logging into my customer account first, and we'll see how this particular OpenCart customer credit system works at the customer's end. So let me go ahead and let me log into my account first. So here I'm at the OpenCart web store front end, as you can see, and as I'm a returning customer for the OpenCart web store, I've entered my email address and password, and I'll be tapping here on the login button to log into my account panel, and thereafter we'll be checking the details of the credit system itself. So now on the right hand side we have our account details, and within that we have this credit information menu option on the right hand block, as you can see. So the customers, if they tap on the credit information section that we have, that brings up the complete details of the credit information itself. From here, the customers can check their credit balance that is available to them for making use within the web store itself. Apart from that, the customers can also add the credit from this particular section that you can see, so as to add the credit there. Apart from that, the customers can check the credit transaction, as you can see right now on the bottom side, and also can check the debit transactions, the transaction wherein they had used the credit balance that was added by the admin. And the customers can also filter out the transactions using the transaction amount or the transaction date using the provided filter. Now let's show you the workflow of this particular plugin at the customer's end. So I've just given you an overview how the customers can view the my credit information under their own account panel by navigating to the credit information section on the right hand side, as you can see, under the account panel of the customer itself. So first of all, let's add some credit. Right now we have the credit balance as $524. So let's add 100 credits more. So I've entered 100, and so basically from here I'll just tap here on the add credit button, and this amount would be created as a product and would be added to the cart, as you can see right now. So we have the customer credit system into one, that's $400. Now we'll be tapping here on the checkout button to make the payment for the credit there. So just like the normal way for the products, so we're choosing the free checkout here. And lastly, on the confirm order here, we can see that we are going to add the credit for the $100. Let me tap the confirm order button, and that would place the particular order, and that would be adding the $100 to my already available credit. That's $523. The order has been placed, and the customers can also check the history for the order that they have just placed for adding the credit there. And here you can see that the customer has added the credit for $100, as you can see right now. Now after the credit has been added from the customer's end, the admin can see the request asked by the customer to add the specified credit that the customer has added under his own account panel for the wallet. So the admin can basically approve the request for adding the money by tapping the approve button. So just give me a second, I'll just take you to the admin backend panel to show you the same. So I'll just log into my backend panel, And after login, here you can see that we have the customer credit option. So here we can see the customer credit requests. Let me open that up. So basically these options are available to the web store admin after he has successfully installed this particular customer credit plugin from the admin backend panel itself. So if I come to the customer credit request section, here we have the credit amount for $100, and you can see the date for today. And here we have to approve or disapprove as required. So we can definitely tap here on the approve button if the admin has received the payment for the credit amount that the customer wants to add to his particular wallet there. And after approval, if I go back to my account, so you can see that we have modified the customer credit request, and now it's disabled. That means it's already been cleared. That is approved by the web store admin. So if I go back to my order information section for the customer, and if we navigate now to the credit information section, now we can see the credit balance is $624. So we have just added $100 more, and the credit that we have done that would reflect here under the transaction type as well. So here we have today's date, the credit, and the amount that was added, that's for the $100. All right, so the admin can also go through the credit request, as you can see here. So after the customer workflow is over, I'll just be coming here to show you these different options that we have under the admin's backend panel for the plugin itself. So now let's go ahead and let's purchase a product using the credit amount that we have within our account. And whenever we are debiting any amount from the credit information, that details of that particular transaction would be under the debit transaction. So here you can see the last one was 3110-219 for $85. So let me go ahead and let me add a product into my cart, and we'll be making a checkout thereafter using the credit that's there within our account. So let me add the HP laptop to my cart, and the amount for that is around 100. So I'll just tap here. I'll just tap here on the checkout button. I'll choose continue, and I'll choose my shipping. And thereafter you can see under the payment methods section that we have the options to make the payment using the cash on delivery or the customer credit. So if I choose on the customer credit, and if I tap here on the continue button, then the details are also visible here, as you can see, for the complete unit price for the product. And let's place the order by tapping the confirm button, and that will place the order for the customer, and using the customer credit. So let's go to the order history of this particular product. So let me tap here on the $105. So here we can see that the order has been placed. Now if the customer goes to the credit information section, these $105 would be debited from the account. As you can see here, right now we only have the credit balance for the $519. So if I go to the debit transaction, here you can see today's date, and the amount that was for $105 has been debited from my credit itself. So that was basically the workflow of this particular plugin, and I showed you just how the customers can add the credit, how that they can check the credit and the debit transactions, and how they can basically make a payment using the credit information or the credit amount under their own credit system there. Also kindly note that if the credit amount is less than the product amount, then the customer will not be able to see the customer credit payment method at the checkout. And also note that the customer cannot add other product with the credit product. So that means if you're adding some credit amount to your credit system, then at that time, if you're adding, for example, if you're adding $100, and if you tap here on the add credit button, at the same time, if you want to add a few more products for making a checkout, for example, if we tap here on the add to cart button for the laptop once again, so basically I'll just tap here on the add to cart button, and you can now basically add any other product with the credit product. So you can see this message as well that's prompted to you as a customer. And right now you can see that even after I've tapped here on the add to cart button, I'm not able to add the other product while the customer credit product is within the cart. So that was how the customers cannot add the other products with the credit product itself. And this was basically the workflow at the customer's end. And now let me go to the admin backend panel, and let's see how the admin would be able to initially set up the plugin itself, and thereafter we'll be showing you the different options that the customer gets after the installation of this particular plugin. So for that, I'll just take you to the admin backend panel now. So here, after you've successfully installed this particular extension, then to make the initial configuration settings, you have to navigate through the extensions, then extensions. And apart from that, you will also find this customer credit option here, under which you can check and assign the credits to the different customer groups. You can check the credit details, you can add a credit limit for the customers, and you can also check the customer credit request, the one that I just showed you a few moments ago. So I'll go to extensions, then extensions, and here on the extension section I'll be choosing the extension type as maybe modules. Let's see that. Yes, and here we'll just navigate a bit down, or we'll be scrolling down to check the particular module itself. Alright, I'm really sorry for that. Basically the extensions, because this is a payment module, so we need to navigate under the extensions to the payment section, and here we'll be able to find customer credit system. So for that I'll just scroll down a bit, and alright, we have a lot of payment methods here. So here's our customer credit system for the OpenCart by Webcall. So I'll just tap here on the edit button, and this brings up the initial configuration settings for the customer credit plugin itself. So now let's go through each of these options one by one, and here we have two tabs. One is the general one, the other one is the email templates. So under the general, the admin can enable this customer credit system option by choosing an enable option. Otherwise, to disable it, just choose the disable option as required. Then you can set up the payment method title. So this the text or the title that you enter here would be visible to the customers at the payment section at the time of checkout. So you can set this payment method as per your own requirement. Apart from that, you can set up the customer credit product image. So whenever a customer is adding the products into the cart, or he's going to add the credit to his account, at that time you can see that we have the customer credit system as a product. Then the image for that one, the admin can basically choose under this section here. Then we have payment from applicable countries. So here you can choose where exactly you want to accept the payments from, whether it's all countries or specific countries. For specific countries, you just need to choose a specific country from which you want to get the payment. Otherwise, you can choose all countries to allow payments to be made from all of the countries within the world itself. Then you have the option to allow payment methods on checkout when the credit product is in the cart. So whenever the credit product is in the cart, at that time you can choose the different payment methods that would be available to the customer to add the credit to his account. So you can see that we have to set it as cash on delivery and the free checkout as well. Apart from that, we can also choose the payment method when the pay credit is done by the admin. So whenever the admin makes a pay credit to the customers, at that time the payment method that the admin would encounter, the admin can choose that as a cash or check or money order or as required. Then we have the credit limit, and from here the admin can set up the limit up to 1,000 credit amount limit for each of the transactions. So at a transaction for adding the credit, only $1,000 can be added and no more than that. So here you can see that the details that I want to just show you. So here you can see that the payment method right now is the free checkout one. Alright, and after that the customer just can add the amount to his credit section there. That's the customer credit system for $100. And let's check if we are going to add 1,000 what we say as the credit to our customer credit system. So for that, I'll just tap here on my account, and thereafter I'll go to the credit information section, and here let's add 1200, and let me tap add credit. Now let's see if this particular product gets added to the cart. No. So you can only add $0 to $600 as the amount to the cart right now, so as to add that to your credit balance. So from here the admin can set that particular thing on, and you can set up the sort order for this particular payment method, whether it should be at the top or as required by setting up the sort order number. Now let's come to the email templates, and here we have already provided you with the keywords that you can make use within your email templates. So under the notify admin option here, basically the admin would be notified whenever a customer will be sending the request for the add credit amount. So at that time this kind of thing or the mail would be sent out. Then we can set up the notify customer for request. So here the admin basically the notify customer when he will be sending the request for the add credit amount. So this particular email will be sent out to the customer after he has sent out the request for adding the credit to the admin. And similarly, then we have one more email for the notify customer for response. So whenever the admin adds the credit amount by validating his request, by approving his request, at that time this particular email response that you've created using the different mail keywords would be sent out to the customer himself. And that's much for the emails that we have. So here we have the notifying admin, notify customer for request, notify customer for the response as well. Thereafter, you just need to tap here on this save button to make the initial configuration settings for your OpenCart customer credit system. Now let's go to the customer credit sub menu options that we have on the left hand side dashboard on the side panel here. So let's go through each of them. I have already gone through the customer credit request. Now let's go to the customer group credit, credit details, add credit limit, and once more for the credit request there. So first of all, let's go to the customer group credit, and here the admin can find out the customer group credit list, and to add a new one, the admin can tap here on the add new button, and that brings up the section from where the admin would be able to select the customer group. So for example, you can choose any of the groups that you've already created, and you can choose them up. Then you can assign the credit to that particular customer group. So you can add up to 1,000 credit amounts to any customer group. So for example, if we set this credit amount as maybe $800, so now whenever a customer that belongs to this particular group registers, at that time $800 would be credited to that particular customer within that particular group that we are assigning. Then let's tap here on the save button. Maybe I've already created the thing. Alright, we don't have the permission right now for that. I need the other permission. So that's how we can basically check the customer group credit by creating a customer group and assigning the amount that would be assigned to any of the customers who join that particular group. Then now let's go to the other section, that's the credit details, and here the customer can find all of the credit details along with the customer name, the assigned credit amount by the admin, total credit amount, used credit amount, and the remaining credit amount. So here you can see for Joe Thompson we have $519, and if I go back to my customer section, just give me a minute for that. Alright, I'm at the customer end, so you can see we have $519, and the same is being reflected here under the credit details section. The admin can also filter out the credit details using the customer name, the total credit amount, remaining one, used one, and assigned credit by the admin, or the amount that was assigned by the admin to the customer. And from here the admin can also view the customer credit transaction details by tapping here on the view button, and the admin can also edit it as well. So for Joe Thompson, you can see that using the free checkout, he has added the credit like $100, $10, and along with that we have the transaction ID and the payment method that was being used. And if I go back to my section, that's the credit details section, the admin can also tap here on the pay credit to customer button. So under the actions column, so if I tap here on the edit button, now from here the admin can pay the credit, and it cannot be more than the $600 to a single customer. And for Joe Thompson, the admin can basically edit that, edit the credit details by adding the credit as well. So if I pay the credit like it's 200, and if I tap here on the save button, and the same is reflected here on the customer as well, $200 have been added to the credit balance of the customer itself. Now that was about the credit details section, where you can view the transaction details and the methods used for making the payment, and you can also as an admin pay credit to the customer. Now let's go to the add credit limit section. So from here the admin can set up the customer credit limit, and here we can see that we have 3 different customers. Tap here on the edit button on the, and this will bring up the customer credit limit section, wherein the web store admin would be able to set up the credit limit for each of the respective customers for which he has tapped on the edit button under the actions column for the add credit limit section. And accordingly the admin can see the used credit and the remaining credit. Apart from that, all of the transaction details as well. Now let me tap back on this, and let's go back to the add credit limit section. So accordingly the admin can set up the customer credit limit by choosing the customer and tapping here the actions button that we have provided for each of the respective customers under the actions column. That's the edit button. Now lastly, let's go to the customer credit request section, and here all of the customer requests would be visible to the web store admin. So for example, you can see that we have the latest for the Joe Thompson for 500 credit amount, and under the actions column here the admin can find the button to approve the credit that for which the customers have requested. So whenever a customer adds the credit to his account under his own account panel using the payment methods made available by the web store admin, those credit requests are displayed here, and then the admin can basically approve them. And after approval, a mail is sent out to the customer, as well as the customer can see the credited amount under his own account panel for the customer credit request, and can see the credit and debit transactions as well. So so under this section here the customer can see, so here you can see that there's a transaction type for the $500 under the credit transactions, as you can see, and here's the same detail for that, the request that the admin had approved. And then the customer can see the details for the credit balance as well under his own account by navigating to the credit information section there. So that was much about the OpenCart customer credit system plugin by Webcool, and how it help you out in understanding the workflow. If you still have any questions, queries, or suggestions regarding this particular OpenCart customer credit system plugin, then you can always let us know by shooting a mail at support@webcool.com, or you may also raise a ticket for the same at webcool.uvidus.com. Apart from that, I have the user guide and the store link and the live demo link for this particular plugin. So for more information, you can check those links there. And thanks for watching this video, and have a great day ahead.